Tonight, in a 42-page White House report, the Biden administration lays out a dangerous new strategy aimed at ending gender inequalities in the criminal justice system. Now, their bright idea to fight the national emergency of gender inequalities: make the entire country more dangerous by eliminating cash bail. Quote, "We will work to end cash bail and reform our pre-trial system, recognizing the harm these processes cause, particularly for black women and families." Now, this is not a new stupid idea. This is a stupid idea that's been around for a while and debunked for years. In 2019, the New York legislature passed one of the most progressive bail reform packages in the United States. According to the New York Times, under that new law, judges could no longer set bail for crimes including stalking, assault without serious injury, burglary, many drug offenses, and even some kinds of arson and robbery as well. The result? Immediately, just what you would have expected. In late January of 2020, just weeks after the implementation, the NYPD releasing crime stats noting a sharp rise in citywide crime. Quote, "Since 2020 began," from the Post. Robberies up 32.5%, car theft up 61%, burglaries up 18% compared to the same time period last year. And remember, this is January of 2020. This is all before the COVID pandemic ever hit, before you even heard of COVID, and well before the BLM Antifa riots plagued New York during the Summer from Hell last year. So it was really unprecedented. Nobody had ever seen anything like it. At the time, NYPD Police Commissioner Dermot Shea, blamed the rise on bail reform laws for it, saying, in quote, "In the first 3 weeks of this year, we're seeing significant spikes in crime. So either we forgot how to police New York City, or there's a correlation." Even Mayor Big Bird acknowledged the big spike in crime. Take a look.
Overall crime up almost 17% among those key index crimes. That's cause for real concern. We take it seriously. We are focused on it. We can confront it, and we can overcome it, because that is the history of the NYPD.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the NYPD, as you know, and that was 35 days after the implementation of this new bail reform law. They went into effect again January 1, 2020. By April 3rd, not even 100 days later, Cuomo and de Blasio both backed a new bill to roll back many of those changes. Even de Blasio, liberal, crazy, left-wing nutjob de Blasio, backed a bill to roll back the changes that the White House is now trying to implement nationwide. Think about that. The reality check of this hit New York very hard. And again, before COVID, so you can't blame that. This past February, Illinois became the first state in the nation to completely abolish cash bail altogether. So how did it go? Well, in Chicago, the liberals, of course, try to spin the stats with the first half of this next sentence I'm going to read. The reality, though, comes in the second half. Though overall crime is down so far this year compared with the same time a year ago, says liberal NBC News, there has been an increase in homicides, sexual assaults, and theft, including of motor vehicles. In March, the California Supreme Court ruled it's unconstitutional to require defendants to remain behind bars simply because they cannot afford bail. In a unanimous decision, the state's top court told judges to favor pretrial release and consider a person's ability to pay before setting bail. That, coupled with the now infamous Proposition 47, which made theft less than $950 a non-violent misdemeanor and rarely prosecuted, has led to a shoplifting crime spree, the likes of which we have never seen happening in California. Something so bad that profitable retail stores in major cities are choosing to shut down rather than stay open and just have people walk in all day long stealing all of their stuff. This is something that's happening in the United States of America because of a law like the one your president wants to implement nationwide. Former prosecutor Kamala Harris, who jokes about smoking weed after making a name for herself by throwing marijuana users in jail, got woke recently when she ran for president, of course. The prosecutor switch on this alien robot has now been flipped off, and now Kamala Harris is a champion for criminal rights on the campaign just last year. Take a look.
We'll end both cash bail and private prisons. Both of those things are really part of what has happened in the criminal justice system, which is about economic justice as much as it is about criminal justice. Cash bail. So you have the money, then you can get out. If you don't have the money, you stay in. That's an economic justice issue as much as it is a criminal justice issue.
Thank you, Officer Harris. So authentic, right? Now she cares about criminal rights, of course. A recent study by researchers at Stanford, Harvard, and Princeton universities has concluded that pretrial release increases the likelihood of rearrest before the offender's trial by 37%, as well as the chance the alleged criminal misses their court date. Now, of course, you have a right to a trial in this country, and an arrest in this country is not a conviction. But it's clearly logical, if we want to have a safe society, that you must take some kind of measure to ensure criminals show up to be tried for the crimes that they're arrested for. That's the essence of bail. That's the whole point. But if we're being honest, the truth of the matter is this is bigger than just the bail or no bail argument. It's about the optics of our criminal justice system. And with moves like this, the left is signaling to the criminals in this country, who are by nature opportunists, we know that they shouldn't be as afraid of the repercussions anymore. We're moving from being a nation that's tough on crime to a nation that's very understanding of crime. And that is why we are seeing a spike in crime. Criminals in major American cities have now listened to their leaders trash talk and marginalize police for the past 18 months, while taking legislative steps to make it easier and more convenient to be a criminal. And now the White House is following suit, ignoring massive spikes in crime to push an agenda that makes absolutely no sense, and this is part of a pattern. They've done the same on immigration, ending common sense policies. Consequences be damned. Polling be damned. And the scary thing is, bad poll numbers are not making them take a pause on any of this. We are watching an administration that chooses to ignore reality at every turn, despite what's right in front of them, despite bad approval ratings. They're just ignoring it. Clear evidence that logical people are not in charge at this White House.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.